3 things that will help us to elevate loyalty within our clients in 2025. And at the end of that, I even have a bonus. So 3 ways to elevate loyalty with clients and then a bonus at the end. And to kick it off, as I often do, I'm going to tell y'all a story. So my husband used to live in San Francisco. And we did bi-coastal. So I stayed in Atlanta and he was in San Francisco, and I went there a lot. And there's a little town near the San Francisco airport, just a few miles away. It's called Burlingame. And Burlingame has amazing shopping. Well, I'm not one for labels, really. I like unique things. And there was a lady there by the name of Suzanne, and she owns a little boutique called Levin. She's from Turkey. And every time I would go to visit my husband, I would have to go to Burlingame and stop at this little boutique, see Suzanne, and find something special to wear. Well, my husband doesn't live in San Francisco anymore, but his son still lives out there. So once or twice a year, what do my husband and I do? We go to visit his son, we go to San Francisco, and of course we stop in Burlingame. Every time we go there, the lady helps me find things that I need, and it's always a great experience. But my husband is kind of on the sidelines. He likes to go there for one reason and one reason only, not to watch me spend money, but there's these candies that are always on the desk, and he always eats 1 or 2, and he loves these candies. They come from Turkey. The last time we were there, I go to pay, and he looks at Suzanne. He's like, "Where are your candies?" The candies were gone. And Suzanne said, "Oh, I'm just so sorry. We're out. I haven't ordered anymore." About 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we got a package in the mail. And this is what Suzanne sent to us all the way from San Francisco. These are the candies from Turkey. She ordered an entire jar, put them in a box, and shipped them to us. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I thought that was such a unique, inexpensive way to say to a client, "I care about you. I care about more than you coming in here and spending money. I've listened." And she responded with such creativity. Do you think that we will ever forget Suzanne and Levin in Burlingame? Absolutely not. So the first tip of today is to surprise and delight your customers. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend this book called Giftology by John Ruhlin. It's been around for a while. It's an easy read. It's a fun read, but it will make your brain explode in ways not to be predictable with gifts to our clients. And gifts do not have to be expensive. And that is going to take me to the quote of today that I wanted to share. It's by Mother Teresa, and she says this: "It's not how much we give, but how much we put into giving." And that is the message around surprising and delighting our client, which is our tip number 1. Surprise and delight your clients, not by being extravagant, by putting a lot into the giving. I'll give some quick examples. One thing that I like to give away, and this has never, ever served me anything but positively, and it is I give away knowledge. Whenever I have a discovery call with someone, or just even an easy breezy conversation, if I think I can help them with what I've learned as far as how to show up with a microphone or to build deeper relationships or to close sales, I give away the knowledge. And do you know what that has done? It has grown my business. So don't be afraid to give away not only items to show appreciation, but freely give away your knowledge. It will bring clients to you. Some other fun things to give away, super easy but unforgettable, are those handwritten notes. Send somebody a handwritten note with something that is very specific to show how much you appreciate them. Let them know that you see them as a person and not just a client or a ticket. So handwritten notes are great. Sending someone a coffee, send someone just like a special latte on a particular day that you know might be a difficult day for them. So get to know people. Remember that. Do the unpredictable. So as I said, surprise and delight your clients. One of my favorite recommendations from the book Giftology, and I've done this a few times where it makes sense financially, but wow, what an amazing gift. Do you know how we tend to give clients and customers swag that is branded by our company? So that would be like me giving a cup or a hat or a t-shirt that says On Point Communication or Talk to the Brain. Rather than giving gifts with our brand on it, order a gift and put their brand on it. Now that is an unforgettable gift. Yes, it would cost a little bit more money, but you would be surprised at how affordable ad specialty items can be. So if you have a big client with a lot of folks, don't send them a thank you with something with your brand on it. Send it with their brand on it. And I'm telling you, they will never forget you for it because you surprised and delighted your client. All right, let's dig into item number 2, talk to the brain tip number 2 around how to build loyal clients in 2025. And I'm going to do this again by sharing a story. My brother, my younger brother, has been a musician his entire life. That's all he's ever done. I think he waited tables a little bit when he was younger, but other than that, all he does is play music. Now, you could try to find him on social media. You could try to find him on YouTube, but you probably won't because he's never done any marketing ever. And he continues to have gigs, as many gigs as he can handle, and he has to turn them away. And just recently, he came to town to visit, and I said, I wish that you could get a gig here so I could bring all my friends to see you play your guitar and sing. And a day later, he called me and he got a gig 10 minutes from my house. I'm like, how do you do this, Jeffrey? And here's what he told me. He said, musicians show up and talk to restaurant and bar owners about their music and how great they are and how much they can do for the room. He said, I never do that. All I do is I go in and I ask them, tell me about the best band that ever played here at your restaurant. Or he will say, what is the most exceptional experience you can give to your customers by bringing music in here? And then they share exactly what they want. And by getting to know them, my brother is able to deliver not what he likes to do and where he thinks he's an expert. He delivers what they want. And that's how he's built a business. Let's see, he's 55 years old. He's been playing music ever since he left Musicians Institute of Hollywood back in the, mid 80s. So that's how he's built his business. So that's the talk to the brain tip number 2 when we're talking about building loyalty is know your client, know your audience. If you don't know them, ask questions. I liken this to experiences with realtors. I use residential real estate agents oftentimes as examples. One, because I've spent time with many of them. And the other reason is because I know a lot of times realtors have a difficult time really standing out in such a crowded arena of real estate agents. But one thing, I will use this example and apply it to real estate or even insurance, and that is this. The longer we're in a business, the more we tend to make assumptions. We assume people's priorities. Once we do that, we stop listening. Just because one person might want to sit and take an entire day spending time in houses, getting to know each other, getting to know every detail, that does not mean that's what every client wants for their experience. So for example, if you are a real estate agent, ask questions about how the client wants their experience to go as they're looking for a house. Don't assume that they want you to spend a great amount of time and sharing so many details about houses that maybe they're not interested in. The same thing can apply to insurance agents. I've had several insurance agents say to me, I can save you money. That might not be my priority as it relates to insurance. I like service. When I called to get my broken windshield fixed, it was immediate, fast service. If I pay a few dollars more a month for car insurance, that's okay because I'm about service. We cannot assume people's priorities. So that's your tip number 2. Get to know your audience, meaning your prospect or your client. If you don't know what their priorities are, ask. All right, let's talk about my final tip for building loyalty in 2025. And again, I have an experience that will really highlight this. Now, many of you know that because I've been talking about it for years, but many of you know I have written a book. And the book is going to be out in March of next year. So the middle of this year, I started interviewing publishers. And in the world of hybrid publishing, I'm not looking for a book deal. You are looking to pay someone to help you put the book out into the world. So I interviewed a lot of publishers. Most of them came to me telling me about the business side of it, how much they could do for me, how much money it would cost, and how much they could save, and how much marketing they would do. All makes sense, right? But one particular publisher did not start like that. She started by asking about my book, why I wrote it, and what I hoped it meant for the readers. And as I shared this with her, she became so passionate about what this book would mean. That's the kind of person I want to work with. So the third thing is to be passionate, not necessarily about your work, but about what it can mean for other people. This publisher didn't tell me how great her publishing agency was. She told me how excited she was about my work because I was her client. So not only be passionate, I think that's a given, but be passionate about what your work does for other people. That makes people feel seen. It makes them feel like you're seeing them more than a client, that you truly, truly want to make a difference with the work that you do. I had a client not too long ago. Her mom called me. She said, my daughter has graduated from college. She's having no problem getting interviews, but she's not getting a job. And this girl was brilliant. Her degree was in some kind of engineering computer thing I didn't even understand. But she said, I think she could use some help with her interview skills. And so we had only 2 sessions together. We completely changed the way that she communicated with the people that were interviewing her. We completely changed the way she responded, how she showed up. And y'all, she called me and told me that she got a job with this little company called Home Depot. Talk about passion about what I do. I mean, helping someone to kick off their career, that makes me remember how much I love what I do. Not because I love doing it, but because of how it affects other people. So whatever it is that you do in the world, what you bring to your clients, remember to focus on what it's doing for other people. And that builds connection and loyalty going forward. So those are our 3 tips. I'm going to stop and see if they have any comments or questions before I share the bonus. But just to review, my 3 tips are surprise and delight your clients and your prospects. Know your audience. If you don't know them, don't make assumptions. Ask great questions. And the third one is be passionate, not necessarily about you and your work, but about the effect that it has on your clients and your prospects.